All right, welcome to another man's point of view. I got another video for you. Um, Breakup rules for every man. Now, the reason I want to do this video, right, randomly, is because I'm interested in the title here. Breakup rules for every man. Let me see. Got two dudes, right, and they're gonna give us some rules. Once you're thrown on the sideline. So let's see what they got, right? And let's see what I can add, right? Or take away, maybe.
Talk about breakups,
Do it, bro.
my friends,
Do it.
because
For breakup a week, bro.
a breakup a week.
I'm full of shit. No, Tristan has a breakup a week. I have a really good retention rate, actually. My retention rate's strong.
The first video I watched from you was that one video.
Yeah,
of
the
you,
Gentleman
Chris.
Gang video. Yeah, it has like
Yeah.
a million something views. Yeah.
That is some hard shit to pull. And like
Yeah.
now I feel like I
What's hard to pull?
the one text and then completely done forever, forever and ever. I learned my lesson. I got my vaccine of that. It only took one time. I think I will never struggle with that ever again. Like,
For those that, for those that are not interested, right, or don't give a rat's ass about it, this is actually one of the biggest problems in relationship world when it comes to men, right? Which is why the guy there is struggling to just say it, right? He got his vaccine. Well, anyways, force-fed red pill. That's when you wake up to the truth, right? And it's force-fed, which is why you're shocked of the real world, right? How relationships really are, and actually, women's nature. It's the discovery of women's nature to know that everything you thought you knew turns out you didn't know a damn thing, and now you're shocked, alone, and afraid, right? And not only that, you just been dumped, right? Which feels like the damn world is over, right? And the harder you push, the harder you get stomped out. Why? Because you don't understand the one sorry ass thing I've been trying to tell you in all my videos is that the reason you're being stomped out is because you're a threat, right? And well, here's the other side of it. You're being forced to man up. Believe it or not. Believe it or not, it's that simple, which is the purpose, right? But anyways, I went off on a rant. Let's see. Continue here.
right now, I'm in a place where like I don't want to ever end my relationship that I'm in right now. But if it ever come to that, I know 100% I could send that text
Yeah.
and be completely like,
Bro, it's crazy.
And that's where you're fundamentally wrong because you're already waiting for the end. Now, I fall victim to that myself. I'm not claiming to have mastered it just yet, but I have mastered the concept, which is different, right? I'm actually so damn close. Now I have the choice, which is a whole nother level that I'm not gonna talk about just yet, right? But like he said, he has it in his back pocket this superpower that he speaks of, right? That he could just send a text and end it all together. Well, I'll up him one. You don't send a text at all, right? But anyways, saying it and doing it is a whole nother ball game, which is fundamentally the problem, right? Which is why you get endless videos of relationship gurus. It'll never end because it's the hardest thing to do, right? But I'll tell you right now, it can be done, which is the reason I'm doing these videos in the first place, right? Anyways,
Crazy.
here we go.
I introduced that song to them, and we started talking about it, and then Andrew started singing it in Jules' house, Sartorial's house in Dubai. And I'm like, I really like this song. And then we started talking about it more, and now today, after all of this, I get at least one text message a day of a screenshot of some dude telling some girl somewhere in the world, I'm sorry it's come down to this. There's so much about you I'm gonna miss. And then they send a pin to Cheyenne, Wyoming. I'm like, yeehaw, cowboy. Could somebody get me in touch with George Strait, please? I feel like I watched this video the other day on YouTube where it was like every comment, it was George Strait singing "Still Make Cheyenne," and he's like, "Jay Waller sent me here. Jay Waller sent me here. George, what's up, bro? We gotta do a pod, man. We gotta talk about this." But
You definitely have to.
everybody blow George Strait up and tell him there's a cowboy in Louisiana that wants to talk about "Still Make Cheyenne." But yeah, man, it's so true. I think that's one of the most.
All right, I hope you can hear that because I'm having trouble hearing it. Bass is really heavy in this video here, right? Or deep. Here's so many. Where do I start? Fundamental problem number one. Right, you got two guys showboating about how they could say goodbye to a woman. Right. Problem is this. Right. Problem number one. If we're being real here, right? If your sole purpose, right, or your mission was to get a woman and you're showboating how you said goodbye, you can see how it's ass backwards, right? How you failed the mission and you did it to yourself. That's why there's classes and levels, right? There's levels of the type of guy you can be, right? That's only the answer to the tactic, right? Or actually the answer to a tactic to win the mission in the future, which is actually what's making the problem harder, right? Because while it is a cheat, right? It's a cheat code, right? But you didn't really win. You just prolonged it, right? To get a woman anyways, but you're saying goodbye to this one so that you could potentially get another one in the future or that one back, which is dumb fuckery, right? because that's the point, right? How I just explained it there. I don't know if you understood it, but there you go. I mean, if you're trying, that's like a lion trying to eat tells the gazelle, well, and not today, gazelle. Only because you're planning to eat it tomorrow. Which is, right, ass backwards. But you do it because it works. There you go. And while it does sound like it's crazy and complicated, it really ain't. What I see and don't like about it, I guess, is that it makes the lion fundamentally weak because you cheat, right? It's a cheat code so that your sorry ass little feelings don't hurt, right? And you can still do the objective in the future. Only you cheated, right? That's the way I see it. Which is the problem, right? Because I see it both ways. I can see why, well, I know why you will do it. Because you're going to get to eat later. And, well, it works. But on the other hand, right, it's fundamentally weak because it is a cheat code, right? And you're doing it not necessarily to win, but it's so that you don't get hurt, right? It's so that you feel more of a man, but in all reality, you're not. You're just like taking like a painkiller when you should be able to take pain, right, to the fullest extent of it, because it's the only way to learn. So again, that's what I'm saying, right? How complicated it really is. But again, only real men, or in this case, men that are looking for the answer, will understand what I'm saying and will even be interested in what I'm saying. Right? In this complicated topic of you got two choices. Two choices. Well, three, right? The one in the middle, and it's the one I've been telling you. The one in the middle is quitter, neutral. You don't care anymore, right? You're taking your ball and going home. Only you go home with no ball. right? Because you suck that bad. But for the sake of this video, two options, right? Cheat code, get it done, all while protecting yourself, right? Making you feel more of a man because you can do this, right? Took all your willpower, right, to say goodbye, only for her to come back because you said goodbye, which is fundamentally ass backwards, but it does work and it does make sense. But again, it's a cheat code, or you can take it the full extent of the pain and suffering, right? And the scolding and the whipping and all this will only make you stronger, right? Because it becomes legitimate. It becomes a true testament, right, to who you really are. Because if you like the pain, right, if you accept it, at some point, it's no longer pain, right? And you have now mastered the art, right, of, what would it be? What's one of these? Art of seduction, art of power. What could this one be? It's somewhere in there, right? In between all that stuff. Or it's, which one is it? Turn the other cheek. Well, anyways, you can see that's all connected, right? There you go. But there it is, right? But anyways, I think I rambled off into space there. Let's see what these guys, or at least this guy in the suit, see what he has to say.
Beautifully written songs. I think that song means a lot to me. It's one of my favorite songs of all time. I have a country music called G Country Music Playlist, and I let no simp songs in there. In fact, I thought about doing
I want to hear about your sorry ass playlist.
The first one I would do, man, because if you look at that song, what was wrong this time? This is a guy in the construction business. This is a guy out on the road trying to build an empire for his family to have a legacy. Every man's got his own rodeo.
We made it.
And then
BMO has arrived.
BMO?
It's just
there you
BMO.
go.
We're back.
Is that everything?
That's everything. And 40,000 ATMs.
Wow, you're a good packer.
One scoop of ATM.
Don't you hate these sorry ass videos that don't give you the damn chance to skip, right? If anything hurts, it's these dumbass commercials.
One replaces
Right in the
multiple
middle of my
supplements
video,
with
right?
75 high-quality ingredients.
You know, she wondered what his cause might bring with a cowboy like him.
Alright, let's forward this because this dude's talking about some dumbass song.
At that point, they're
All
going
right.
to have to respect you or lose respect for you.
Okay, here we go.
And a woman is either going to have to respect you or lose respect for you. And that respect is going to be held within whether you can hold your ground or not.
Well, there you go. That's one of those, again, two options, right? And you can see why it's so damn hard, right?
Done it?
It either happens or it doesn't. She either will or will not. And it's whether you can hold your ground or not. But that's where it gets tricky, right? Because on one hand, again, right, you like her. So you refuse to treat her like shit. On the other hand, you must, right? Because she don't like you. Because you can't treat her like shit. So there you go, right? You're in a big ass pickle. So what do? Right? What's the right answer? What is it? Why does it have to be this way? Why? Well, I know the answer. I'm not going to get into it just now because, well, you ain't there yet. Right? Right now we're tackling this simple philosophical question and truth, by the way. Right? And I haven't heard anybody yet, right, tackle this question. What do? What's the answer? I've only seen everybody hint, point, right, at it, bring it up here and there, like, or stumble into it like this dude just did right now.
And I've live through the pain of it, and you just have to ask yourself, whose will is stronger, me or this 100-pound woman? Who is?
There you go. Another quick stumble into it, right? Whose will is stronger? Now the women are screaming, right, to hell and everywhere else, right? That their will is power, that they want, they need, they control, they want it all, right? And on the other hand, all right, we are trying to give them that. Why? Well, because you want them. That's why, right? And well, logically speaking, right? Well, if she says, give me this and I'll give you that, well, you're going to go ahead and do it, right? Only it don't work that way. Sadly. Because you're playing another game. A game you didn't even know you were playing. Right? But there it is. It's all around you. Right? You're playing it whether you want it or not. Which is why you never win. Because you refuse to play it. But you're being played either way, right? But anyway, let's see what else he's got to say.
Naturally, genetically more emotional than me. Am I going to let her beat me at a game of will and strength of the mind when I know that she's naturally more emotional than me?
Yeah. Because it's a game of emotion, right? Because you feel. However, just like this dude just said, she's all emotion, which again is the beauty of it, right? Which is she stumbles into victory. However, what you don't know, and you'll hear it here first, right? Is that while it may seem like she won, in all reality she lost. And that's one of the biggest secrets of the universe. So you're welcome, right? But nobody seems to care because my delivery sucks, right? But how else do you say it? I don't see. How else do you say it? Right? How do you tell somebody, right? To you, my viewers, how do I tell you that it seems like she won, but in all reality she lost? How do you say that? In other words, right? Other than just like that, there you go. There it is. Take it or leave it, right? I've been trying my damnedest, right? And here's another thing. I'll say it, and women themselves will say, well, I can't lose, right? Right? I did win. But how do you explain this? Right? How do you explain that they didn't? Right? And not furthermore, how do you explain to guys that yes, despite what she's saying, it don't matter, she lost. Now, yes, she could say all she wants, but my whole point is you must understand that yes, she's saying she did, but in reality she lost. Right? And that it doesn't matter what she says, it's because I'm telling you that you should know that she did lose. But you refuse to believe it because she's running her mouth about how she didn't. And she'll do her damnedest to show you that she didn't. Right? But I can show you how she did lose. But anyway, that's a whole another complicated situation, right? Fundamentally, again, my videos are for you, right? The guy, my viewers, the men that want to be men, right? Because again, women will gladly take an L, and that's why they win, right? Quote unquote, win, because they'll gladly take an L to quote unquote again, win. But understand what I just said. They'll gladly take an L, right, to win. But understand that they took an L to win. So They didn't win, did they? They took an L to win. You see how hard that is, right? To explain how hard it is to comprehend and understand. But that is what's going on. Now, you came here for truth, and I know it's hard as hell to get it, right? Because these questions are paradoxes, right? My topics are paradoxes. What I'm saying are paradoxes. And hell, the answer is a big ass paradox, a big ass mystery. However, when you break it all down and see the inner workings of it, you can understand it and know why it is a paradox. Because it is. Right? And maybe it's not about fixing it, but more of accepting it and understanding why it is, right, that they're taking an L all while taking a W in your eyes, right? Because while they beat you at this game, ultimately they took an L, right? And if you only knew what I know, and I'm trying to show you that you know that ultimately you took a W, right? Because she took an L. And that she took an L because she didn't get you. You see, she lost because she lost you. But in your eyes, she won because she kicked you to the curb. But ultimately, you win because now you're one step closer to manhood. So there you go. I know it's so simple for me to just say it like that, but right, whether you understand it or not, believe it or not, this is just happening all the time, right? All the damn time. And right there, right, I just gave you one of the greatest freebies you'll ever get, right? But again, most people don't get it. Most people don't even get to this point of the video, right? So I may be going upstream here. But anyways, there you go. Let's continue.
That, and understand that if you start contacting her, blowing her phone up, or watching her stories, or phoning her mom, and doing all of these things that are emotional actions, she's naturally going to be less attracted to you.
There you go. Right? I couldn't have said it better myself. Right? But again, how can this be? How can it be that the more you try, the more you want, the more you're there, the more you do all this shit, right? The more she naturally is gonna kick you right square in the ass and say, "Ew, get away from me, creep." How can that work? How can that be, right? Well, because you don't know the inner workings, right? You don't ever consider that what you're dealing with may not be a human being at all, right? That maybe if you tweak your little brain just a little, and maybe if you listen to the Space Luchador, right, and understand the message, you can see clearly that you ain't dealing with a human being. You are dealing with a woman, and that's the fundamental first step. You're not dealing with a human being. You ain't dealing with your counterpart. You're dealing with a woman. And that you yourself can't act like a woman. Do you see what I mean? And everything that he just described in this simple little example there makes you look like a woman. So there you go, a paradox once again, right? How do you fix that?
And you're going to push her further and further and further and further away until she lands on something you don't want her to land on.
Yeah. When she thinks you're a woman. In other words, a bitch. Yep. It's that simple, but so damn hard to understand, right? Because when you're in the heat of the moment and you have now landed yourself or put yourself in a position or somehow effed up into this corner of bitchiness, right? Now you're all feelings, you're all talk, no action, or maybe too damn much action, right? And you put her in a position of, well, I'm sorry, but you have now become a bitch. And well, in order for me to get out of this situation, I must take an L. You see how I just re-explained it, right? Broke it down, showed you how it works. Probably made the video long as hell already, right?
And that's the dude down the street, right? So,
The dude down the street. Well, yes, it could be anybody. Why? Because she will take an L again so that she can take a W. You see how it works. Do you see it? Tell me you see it, right? Or at the very least, oh shit, you're starting to see it, right? What I just said. How she can take an L to get a W, but ultimately she's taking an L, right? Do you see it?
you have to know that it's going to take an iron will in mind to be able to do this, because there's no pain greater than heartbreak.
Exactly, which is my point, right? It's gonna take everything you got and more. It's gonna take your balls, right? And everything that's in them, and a whole hell of a lot of willpower, and mental strength, and physical strength, and all this crap, and a little bit more extra for you to pull through. Which again is the beauty of it, because it literally takes you to the limit within an inch of you, right? Offing yourself, right? Self-destructing. Because it takes you to the breaking point. So sometimes it breaks you, literally, right? All dudes that's ever been in this situation that I've spoken to, right, and seen, have told me worst thing that's ever happened to them in their entire sorry ass life has been the force-fed red pill, right? The big breakup, the big, it all ended there. The one that got away, the one that ruined his sorry ass, right? Because it hits him where it hurts the most, and it ain't the heart, although it's, in there too. But it ain't the heart, it's the ego, right? And the only way out is ego death. But if you, again, here's another paradox for you, right? If your biggest fear is for your little ego to get hurt, right? And you know it's heading full speed ahead towards ego death, and your worst fear is ego hurt, but you're headed towards ego death, and the only way to fix it is to kill it. Well, now you see the pickle. Your worst fear come true. And the only way to get out of it is to die. That's what I'm talking about. See, that's the level one that I operate. But sadly, I again don't matter what I say, right? Ultimately, this little ego thing and ego death happens to all of us. At some point, you will go through it. It all comes down to whether you can do it, right? How you do it. It's how you do it, how it happens, and how you ultimately take it, right? If that's your worst fear, well, guess what? It's coming. You can postpone it all you want, but it's coming, bound to happen, right? And sometimes it hits you right square in the ass when you least expect it, and there you go. Huh? You're destroyed forever. Some don't ever recover. They never do, right? But again, it takes because, and here's the thing. Here's the beauty of it. This is why I like it, right? Because it's the ultimate test. It is the ultimate test. I see it as a rite of passage, right? Which is the true way you should see it, right? It's a rite of passage, which means if you want to get on that side, you got to go through it, but basically, right? In simple terms. So, yeah, you can't fundamentally go through manhood without this little inconvenience. Right? Only the biggest price to pay, right? Especially when you haven't gone through it, right? But that is life. That's life for you. And well, I hate to break it to you, right? But it is a funnel, right? And we're all heading that way. So there you go, right? It's not like you can just, yes, you can take your little ball and go home. I don't participate. It don't matter. That just means you eliminate yourself anyway. So there you go, right? But for those that are in the game, right, you're bound to go through it. And that's why I'm here, right? I know that my audience are the ones that are looking for the truth and the answers and the way to get through it, right? And come back and all that stuff. Everybody else is floundering around, right? Thinking that it ain't gonna happen to them. You know how many times I've heard, oh, well, I'm special. It ain't gonna happen to me, right? I'm in a perfect relationship. Oh, really? Until you're not, right? And long and behold, right, you find yourself watching guru videos on YouTube. So there you go. But anyway, let's continue.
But you're not doing yourself a service by begging a woman to come back or catering to her breaking the rules of your frame, because she's not going to respect you if you
Of course
can't
not.
be strong enough to have her be inside your frame.
You hear that? Now, this reminds me of a good quote from one of the, I'm not gonna say greatest women of all time, but you know, one of the women up there, right? She's respected or whatever. She's famous. So the great Marilyn Monroe, right? Sex symbol of her time, had a good quote, and she said, "If you cannot, right, handle me at my worst, you don't deserve my best." And I've said this before, right? I've said it before in a room full of guys, to guys directly, and I get the same reaction every single time, right? They don't like it because they refuse to believe or listen to the quote, right? All they heard was like, so what? She can do whatever the hell she wants, and I'm supposed to take it, right? I think you missed the point, right? You missed the point, which I'm going to explain to you right here, right? Because I'm feeling pretty giving today, right? Let me repeat it again for those that care, right? If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve the best, right? And let me break it down for you. It's so simple, it really is, right? It's handle my worst will let you, or actually, if you can handle my worst, you just achieved my best. Meaning, are you worthy, right? There it is. Just like that. I gave you the answer, right? Just like that. But because it is so damn simple, right? There it is. Right? You can take it or leave it, but there it is. Right? And yes, It is a little anticlimactic, but there it is. Are you worthy of it? That's it. Right? So you must take a little ass kicking, right? And if you can take it, well, oh shit, you're worthy. That's how you earn respect. That's how you earn anything, as a matter of fact, right? It's did it cost you? And I know it's one of the worst things to hear for a guy, right? That she's gonna put you through the mud. That she's gonna kick you right in the nads, right? And that you have to take it. Right there, fundamentally, it hits you where? At the ego, because you're like, wow, how dare this be, right? Kick me in the nads. She said she loved me, right? And see, that's what's funny about it. Like, she said I was the one, right? Only for her to turn around and kick you right in the nads, right? Now you're sitting there like questioning life because, well, how can she kick me in the nuts after she said she loved me? How? Right now you're there weeping, crying, right? Which is funny. I mean, I see this all the damn time, right? But anyway. There you go. Right? What else? What do I add to that? Let's finish the video.
So, I do believe respect equals love, and any man that wants to garner respect for a woman, particularly in a breakup, needs to be able to leave the phone dangling off the hook.
Just
don't know.
walk away.
I didn't hear it.
Yeah, catch that rodeo cowboy. Because guess what? In a few years, when you win the rodeo, the phone's gonna ring again. And then it's up to you what to do.
Yeah.
See that, and that's the
That
problem.
part is really sad. At least in my experience, it was sad because I still.
It is sad because you are losing, right? You're losing big time. I dare say she's losing worse. But it is the only way, right? Now, trust me, I've done the math. I've done the math, right? And I realized something. I've tried all these other equations. I'm all right. I'm gonna fit with this. I'm gonna put the one, hold the 3, right? Put the 2 and then the 1. Damn, that don't work. All right, don't compute, right? It just doesn't compute. And then you realize, come up with this is the only equation. It's that you must cut it off, earn respect. Long and behold, she comes back. Now what? Now what are you gonna do, right? The only reason she comes back is because you don't care anymore. Paradox. It's like when you did care, she didn't care because you cared too damn much. Now you don't care, she's back, but guess what? You don't care, so you're right back to where you started. There you go. Mathematical paradox, right? It's the what do you do? However, because I'm that damn good, I did come up with an answer. I did find the answer, right? Which I ain't gonna give you just yet. Because again, it's gonna go right over your head, right? Right now, fundamentally, showing you the baby steps, right? The ropes. Like once you learn how to stand in the ring, right? And I'm gonna show you how to run across the rope, right? Before you know it, you'll be diving off the 3rd rope. Elbowing, right? Elbow drops, knee drops, right? Frog splashes and swanton and corkscrew, guillotine leg drops and all sorts of crap. Moves that you've never seen before, right? I'll get you there. But just understand this, right? It's the paradox. Understand that you must go through it, right? There's a reason you must go through it. Understand the reason. Once you understand the reason, well, you have now leveled yourself up to a point where you start playing chess. And well, shit, now that I know the game, right? Now that I know the game, Maybe, right? And this is my whole mission is, can I prevent this? Right? Can it be done? Right? Like, what if a guy just knew everything, right? Just knew all the rules and knew how to play the game, right? And all this stuff. Can he master this to a point where maybe he don't need this little paradox, right? Can it be prevented, right? Maybe not, right? But I know that the world itself would be a better place. Trust me, it'd be a better place if we can at least, right? Maybe not prolong, right? This rite of passage. What if we all just went right through it? Screw it, right? Beelined, right, towards the mission, right? Get it done. Get it out of the way. So that we can become bigger and better men, right? Maybe reach pinnacle of next level, right? Because we need this. If anything, we need this 2023. We need more men, right? Not less, but more. Because, in case you haven't noticed, right, we're going to hell in a handbasket and we're going quick. Real quick, downhill, right? Right? Delivered in 30 minutes or less. And for free. Anyway, there you go. Let's
It was
finish it
fun.
up.
Yeah, I still care about her, and I wanted her to be happy.
Yeah.
Yep.
But there was no going back.
Right. Right. And you can shock a
Those
woman.
are the words you'll hear all the damn time. Right? I wanted her to be happy. Yeah, she left me. But I still love her. I want her to be happy. You know how pathetic you sound? You know how weak and cheap, right? And cringy. You know how you sound to this woman you so-called love when you say some dumbass shit like that? And I'll say it like that because that's exactly what it is, right? I hear it all the time. When dudes tell me, oh, yeah, she's a better place, right? She left me, you know, but she's happy. I see her from up far. She's happy. She's in love with a better man. You know how pathetic you sound. It's just funny to me, right? But anyway, once you realize that everything's one big ass joke, right, you must have a sense of humor and understand that it is ridiculous, but it is, right? It is. It just is. Not the ridiculous. I'm saying that it is, right? This premise that I speak of, it is. It's the truth. But it's funny, right? Anyway, there you go. So I don't know if we need to continue, right? Probably made the longest ass video to date, right? But anyways, I haven't uploaded in a while, so there you go. I'm gonna give you whatever this video has lasted already. It should be enough content for you for now, right? I'm working on having finally having a guest and show you a little bit more, right? Making this more entertaining for you, right? And show you more and more, right? Get you interested. So share, like, subscribe, comment down below. Right? I don't know if this one should be a podcast episode, right? I don't know if this is a single clip, because I kind of ran my mouth a lot, right? Oh shit. There you go. That's what happens when you live. But there you go. So I'll see you on the next man's point of view.